Hi, I'm Jed, relationship guru extraordinaire. And in today's video, I will be giving relationship advice to strangers on the internet. Yes, it is beautiful, folks. The future of these strangers lies solely within my unqualified hands. Yes, I don't have any credentials or qualifications, but I do have a suit and I do hold the microphone. And sometimes that's all you need to get people to listen to you. So let's get going. Let's do this. Hey Jed, so pretty much my best friend is trying to choose between two boys. One of the boys is very kind, sweet, and is so nice that he would never hurt anyone. The second one, however, is not so cool. He is very emotionally unstable and is always on and off. He has told my friend things that only she knows. He is always talking about how much it sucks to be him. I think that he is in a way manipulating my friend into dating him by making her feel bad. So if she left him, then he would be so heartbroken and damaged that he would possibly hurt himself. Well, first of all, this is the exact plot to Twilight. So, we have Jacob Black in one corner, Edward Cullen in the other. Who should she pick? Well, first of all, the second guy, the Edward, is an absolute no. He seems to be the exciting choice because he's damaged and he's got some problems going on. That stuff's fun. Then we have Jacob on the other hand. Your only descriptions of him is nice, wonderful, super, would never hurt anyone. Those aren't personality traits. Those are basic human qualifications for getting along in this world, in society. So, I would bet super nice guy is also super boring guy. Because he's using his kindness as a substitute for his personality. He's just constantly probably showering her and, you're gorgeous, you're beautiful. He's doing all the right things. But at no point is he probably ever actually demonstrating his own personality. Who is he? Other than a guy who's nice and says nice things to you. For any of his compliments to even matter, he has to first demonstrate his own value and his own personality. So second guy has the personality, but he also has all the personality problems. So he's a no as well. Get him out of there. You can't take a gamble on people that he might possibly hurt himself. Those are really shitty situations. I don't have great advice for it, but I do know if anybody's using it as leverage, them hurting themselves as leverage to keep you in a relationship, that's an immediate sign you got to get out of there. They're not your responsibility. Yes, you can still maybe help them, maybe tell somebody in their family or, I don't know. That's what I'd do at least. And that's all I can say. No to both. Okay, so me and my boyfriend have a problem with sex. Bluntly, his dick is just way too big for me. It hurts a lot to the point where it feels like I want to cry. He's good at foreplay and all that, but he just really is too big. So we haven't been having sex. And that isn't working for either one of us. So any suggestions? Oh man. All those small penis kings out there right now are watching this video and they're like, this is my queen. This is my time to shine. Check the comment section. They're probably dropping their numbers for you right now. But this is another situation. I don't know anything about anatomy. Is there ever a time where it's just too big that you can't adapt? I mean, human bodies are very adaptable. One day you're going to have to give birth out of that same location. So maybe this guy is actually... You should go with this guy. He's prepping you for the future. If you chose to have kids, of course. He's just buttering you up. I hate that I used the word butter. Oh, God. How do I get my boyfriend to want to hang out with me for once instead of play video games? I'm good to him, I swear. I think he's just actually obsessed with video games. He hangs out with me every Friday, but never seems to want to when he has free time during the week. This is so incredibly common of a problem because... most guys I know can play video games for 10 hours. So even girls that are like, play video games themselves, or they're cool with like their boyfriend playing video games. You might be cool with your boyfriend playing like 3 hours of video games, but once it's like hour 10 or taking over their whole life, and then you are like competing, it's like they're spending more time on Xbox than they are with you. That's where it's like, this isn't a person who's ready to be in a relationship at all. Nobody would tolerate 1 day a week when they are, especially when they have free time. It's not like he's in med school. He's playing Apex Legends. So you got to decide, is once a week good enough for you? If not, I'd tell him and be blunt about it. And that's going to put him in a situation, not necessarily an ultimatum of like, it's me or the video games, but it will, You say it out loud to him. You say, hey, I want to spend more time than that, and I need that because I'm trying to build a real relationship that's more than once a week. And then, whatever his choice is, you are the game. It's a win-win. One, he chooses the games. Wow, you're no longer with a guy who's not ready to be in a relationship. Or two, he says, okay, yes, I'm going to invest into you. More days, more time because I care about you. Also a win. Bro, okay, so basically, I was talking to this guy and I snapped his friend, which is also one of my best friends, saying that I missed my ex. But not like our relationship, I missed the memories and stuff, and they completely took it the wrong way, and now he doesn't know if he can trust me and stuff. Please help. So this one, you made the mistake of venting to a friend that has a conflict of interest. He's also friends with your boyfriend. So he's like, maybe I should let him know that she's missing her ex, because on the surface that sounds weird and bad. But the truth is, as you explain it, you're just missing the good memories with him, which is completely normal. And actually, anybody who's emotionally mature enough should recognize that their partner, if they've had a previous partner, it wasn't all bad. They have memories and things that have shaped them that were good and bad. And you're allowed to still miss and enjoy the good memories you had. So if your partner can't recognize that, they're not emotionally mature enough to be in a relationship with anyone that is an adult. So what I say is, if you've explained it to them and maybe given a week for them to get over just maybe the initial sting of them maybe feeling jealous at first, if they're still not over it and they can't trust you, why? If you've explained yourself clearly and they can't trust you, you're dating a baby boy. Here's one. What do you do when you have only crushes on straight girls and you also happen to be a girl? Well, I would guess if you're only developing crushes on straight girls, it's probably because it's a safe option. It's not that it's like developing a crush on a celebrity. It's safe. You can't get your heart broken because truthfully it's never going to happen. So maybe what it is you're developing these crushes because you're not really even ready to be in like a real relationship. Maybe you're just like, you like these safe little crushes. And maybe that's okay for a bit, unless you're at the point where you're like falling real in love and then you're getting heartbroken constantly. And in which case I'd say, get real help, not me. My boyfriend keeps trying to put it in my ass. Okay. This is a very common question I got a lot of. So, two of the most common questions are, how do I get a boyfriend? And then the girls that have boyfriends, they're saying, my boyfriend wants to put it in my ass. So, girls that are looking for boyfriends, realize that that's your future. Every day, trying to put it in your bum, okay? So, maybe you don't want a boyfriend. Just keep that in mind. Be realistic about what's in your future if you date a man. I don't know. If he keeps trying, here's what you do. Here's a few options. One, tell him, hey, if you let me put something in yours, yeah, let's do a little trade. Yeah, ass for ass. Maybe he's down for that. Maybe this will open up a whole new level of your relationship. Here's something to consider. If it was Harry Styles who propositioned you, he said, hey, let me put it in your ass, you'd probably say, oh yes, please, daddy. And that's confusing, because if you would do that, then why wouldn't you let the man who has picked you to be his life partner out of 7 billion people on the planet, the man who loves you, who has given you his heart, and he can't get a little ass? Come on! What's with your priorities? Give it to him! That's what I vote. How do you tell your boyfriend you're kinky as hell if you don't think he is as kinky as you, but you want him to be? Here's something you gotta know about guys. They're disgusting. I can't imagine that you are nastier than he is. But a lot of guys won't tell girls what they're really into, because if there's anything guys are afraid of, it's being laughed at and being rejected. So they don't want to share what they really want. So I'd bet you're safe telling him. Almost in any way, it'll be a good text or a good conversation. If not, that would be a shocking thing to me. If he was like, ew, you want to do what? Said no guy ever. The risk to reward, there's very small risk that he's going to be like, ew, what the hell? You want that? That's so unlikely. If it does happen, you know what? You can't make choices based on things that are that unlikely. So for this one, you just got to let him know. Just say, hey, tie me up, beat me, piss on me, beat me. So I'm dating this guy, but I'm not really feeling it anymore, so I want to break up with him. But him and his friends had previously told me that if I broke up with him, they just might ruin my social life, and they're also kind of assholes to me. So what should I do? Absolutely break up with him as soon as you can, because this guy is disgusting. Even if things are okay and he doesn't seem that rude, if he's insinuated that if you were to leave him, he would ruin you, that your entire relationship is built on actual shit. A pile, here's the shit, and then here's you. It's like a, like a wedding cake. It's just the two little, like, bride and groom at the top. That's you at the top, but it's not a cake. It's just stacks and layers of shit. That's what your relationship is built on. That guy's a monster. And then here's what you got to do. You got to dump him, and you have to, basically, sometimes there's just consequences of dealing with people that are out of your control. What people do as retaliation sometimes is just out of your control. You can't, the worst thing you can do is, the part that's in your control is being with him. So that you just eliminate. And the other parts, you just have to take as one of those stupid shit storms that life throws your way. If they do anything that's illegal, screenshot texts of them saying they're going to do certain things, do these other things, and you could probably file like a harassment police report. That's honestly what I would recommend. Also, if it hits a point where you're concerned for your safety, that's also something you need to talk to your family, report, maybe even talk to his family. I don't normally condone those messages where like a guy says something and you message his mom, like your son said this. But sometimes I'm like, a little shame for certain circumstances might work. That might be the route to go. If he's going to ruin your social life, ruin his family dinners. Say something to his mom about what he's going to do, because at a certain point you have to use the resources that are available to you. How do I get over someone? This one I have a little bit of experience with. What you have to do is unfollow them or hide their posts on social media, because as long as you're watching them and their interactions, it's just going to keep that wound open. You got to eliminate them, keep yourself occupied, and also don't try to immediately be friends. A lot of times you break up and it goes okay, and they're like, yeah, I just want to be friends. Sometimes you can't go straight from loving somebody or being in a relationship to being friends. And maybe you're trying to get over somebody who you never were in a relationship with. That's a whole different thing. But if you were in a relationship and you're trying to get over them, yeah, eliminate them from your social media. Occupy your mind with other things. Watch movies. Hang out with friends. Talk to friends about it. Sometimes you got to rant about something about 200 times. And then on the 200th time, you find yourself bored typing it. You're like, I am sick of this story. And at that point, you're like, whoa, maybe it's because I'm over it. This is done with. If none of those things work, this is what I've tried a few times whenever I'm missing my ex. I bought this muscle. It's like an electric muscle thing. So I've been experimenting with electroshock therapy, DIY style. So what you do is you turn this up. Let's try it out. Oh, wow, I really miss my ex. Yep, still love her. Shit. Okay, I'm not sure if this counts as relationship advice per se, but here goes. So this guy I like, who I'm 90% sure likes me back, is so bad at taking hints. He's so slow. I think we're past the flirting phase, but it's been 2 years and he hasn't asked me out yet, and I'm not sure if I want to because I think he might run away, based on how scared he is of progression. He seems to be happy, just stuck where we are, and it's giving me whiplash. What should I do? Flirt with him more? Just move on? Man up and ask him out? This is the modern relationship you've just summed up. People that are clearly compatible together in this weird limbo phase for an infinite amount of time, and it's shitty. I've been in them my whole life, because I'm always that same person where it's hard for me to just casually date, like casually. It's always like all or nothing. So if sometimes you meet somebody who's great, but you're not ready for all yet in other aspects of your life, you're not ready to settle down. So it sucks because you've met the person who's great, but you don't know if you're ready to actually commit. And because with you, it's this is the person you'll be with forever if you get together, so it's so scary. Commitment is scary for people, especially in these situations where you guys might be perfectly compatible. He probably does like you a lot. But you're in a situation where it's not anything real and tangible, and you need that. So what I would do is make it clearly known to him, hey, we've been talking for a while. We clearly are compatible. Do you want something out of this? And what's going to happen? You got to force this, because he probably won't. You got to force that conversation. And what's going to happen is it's going to go bad or it's going to go good. And the good thing about that is you won't be in the limbo. And the limbo is probably slightly comfortable and okay. But think about this. It's gone 2 years already. It can go 2 more. My guess is sooner you bring up that conversation, the better. And I think it will be make or break. And then you can finally move on with your life. In either route is a better route than the limbo phase, probably. How do you flirt with someone, like legit? How do I flirt with someone? Well, I don't know how, okay? During my formative years, when I should have been out learning how to speak to women, win them over with my charm, at the gym building muscle to impress them with my physique, I was making internet videos in the basement. Okay, which luckily turned into a marketable skill and currently my only currency in the dating market. So let's say we get nuked tomorrow, okay? We're living in a post-apocalyptic society, no internet, it's no more. You think I'm approaching women and winning them over with my flirting? No, this is what would happen. I'd approach them and I'd be like, hey, remember Instagram? Yeah. Remember how many followers I had? Wasn't that sick? Wasn't that just so crazy back how many followers I had? And they'd shove their hand in my face and they'd be like, get away from me, boy. I'm looking for a big beefy man that can kill a boar with his bare hands because I'm hungry and there's no dinner. And I'd be like, I'm hungry too, baby. Can I third wheel to this date, please? I'm starving. That would be me. Well, everyone, I'm sorry I didn't get to everybody's questions. I got so many. And maybe if people like this video, maybe I'll do like a part 2 or something. I don't know. Anyway, please comment. If you have better advice, comment that, because I'm sure people do. I actually like comments. A lot of times people correct some of the dumb stuff I say, and I'm like, oh, yeah, good point. Also, please subscribe, like, all that. It's good for you, good for me. Let's do it. Thanks for watching.